Hey guys, it's Postbox Pat. Welcome back to everything in Chapter 4, Season 2 that we know so far. So we're going to start off with the theme. It's obviously quite clear that the theme is going to be a futuristic theme, and it's also going to be a Japanese/neon style theme. Now, funnily enough, no really content creators that I've seen have picked up on this, and I mentioned this a while ago. I already predicted this being the season in past videos. If you watch other videos, you'll know I've already said this, but people have just caught onto it late. For some reason, the Fortnite creative call out was already announced, but I was building in it, and that was calling for a neon/cyberpunk city, and you can see a little screenshot of that here. Now, funnily enough, that is probably what the season's going to be. We've seen this in the past from the creative callouts. We've seen it with the no combat one they asked for before Zero builds come out, and we've seen it with other ones as well. So usually this is an indicator of what the season's going to be, and they already announced this on the 25th of Jan, and I was saying this back then, so, you know, it's kind of weird. But anyway, that's not the main topic. That's the theme of the season anyway, and obviously the creative stuff's going to go along with that when the season does go live. But what do we have in the Battle Pass? Well, here's a preview of a few of the skins. These are 5 of them. Usually in a Battle Pass you get about 8. These are the ones so far we've seen. We know we're going to get this beast thing on the right. We've seen that in the quests that we've already seen. And we're going to be getting a lot of Foxed Clan based skins. The one in the middle there is rumored to be the tier 100. The one on the right, I'm not too sure what tier that would be. And on the left, I'm not too sure. But you can see how they're all that kind of Foxed Clan futuristic theme. I do think this season will focus possibly around the Fox Clan and the Peace Syndicate, and maybe how they relate to each other. You can see the X as well on that girl's bunny ears up there on the left, and obviously this guy on the left as well. I believe he's from the Attack of Titans. Now, I don't know much about anime stuff. I have watched a few, but none of the popular ones. I've watched like really old anime stuff like the Yu-Gi-Oh series and things like that when I was a lot younger, so I don't really know too much about it. I don't usually get a lot of time to spend watching TV programs, and if I do, it's usually stuff that I already enjoy, like Star Wars, etc., that I already really enjoyed the most. So if I do get time, I will definitely check out the Attack on Titans though, because I know apparently it's really good. I've never seen it though, so I can't comment too much on it. But the guy's name, I believe, is Eren. I think that's his first name anyway, and the mythic is going to be related to this as well. We'll talk about more gameplay mythics. There is going to be a mythic possibly with the release of this skin. Now, some other skins as well, which I just want to quickly mention, which are rumored for the release in this. These have actually related to a few things. If you put them through a spectrogram, the sound, they indicate these logos here. We get like a FUTS one. We get more of like a, I guess, kind of like a rose style one or some sort of plant, and another one which is like an umbrella type thing. Now these are obviously hinting towards the future of Fortnite, and these actually could link to these 2 skins on screen, so these possibly could be in the Battle Pass as well, which would be quite exciting. I think a lot of people would like these in the Battle Pass. It's not 100% guaranteed, but you know, possibly we could see them. And a final one I just want to show you guys on skin side of stuff is this geezer here. He's actually a outfit just from the surveys that will most likely be in the Battle Pass. He's more of like a meme style one. I think this is a really cool one. I think this is actually my favorite out of all of them, and I'm not someone that usually loves Battle Pass skins, but this one is really unique. I know it'll be one of the bigger skins, so obviously it might take up more of your screen. That can be a case sometimes, which people don't like. Sometimes on the skins like Peely and stuff, people just don't like them and guff because they take up a lot of room on the screen, but that doesn't bother me, and I think this is a really odd map changes. What's going to happen POI wise? Well, we know the rift in the sky is going to be cracked at some point during these weeks. I'm hoping it's going to be, well, we've not got long at all now, have we? We've got a few days until the release of the season, so the release of the season is going to be, I believe, on the 8th of March, so we've got 5 days until the release, and obviously the Kid Laroi event had all the neon stuff in. That's probably not going to be what we're going to get. We're going to get separate new stuff, I'm guessing, and it's probably going to be similar to other POIs like Neo Tilted and Mega Mall, but with a newer twist and a modern vibe to it, with more of a cyber style to it, with that Japanese vibe. So it's going to be very similar to what I built on my map, and you can actually see a screenshot. That's all I'm going to show, this screenshot, because I don't want to reveal it because it's not publicly released yet. But that's just an example of what I built. More of this kind of like enclosed space that's got more of wires and just more obstacles, and maybe a really nice reflective road you could see, and more of like a suburb in a city. I think you might see that dotted around, similar to Cyberpunk if you played that game. I think that's the vibe we're going to get. Not the Neo Tilted vibe, that was more cartoony, and Fortnite has generally stepped away from that, even though it is still cartoony, it's stepped away from that old cartoony style. a long time ago, I'd say. Probably chapter 3, I'd say it started to step away from that. And now, especially in chapter 4 with the medieval stuff we got this season, season 1, it wasn't very cartoony at all. So that was kind of exciting. Now, weapon-wise and mythics, I want to talk about this here. Apparently, we could be getting one of these samurai sword style things, which would be super awesome. Katanas would be amazing. I think it'd just be a samurai sword, and a little bit of gameplay that from Save the World, what it would look like if we were using it in game. Fortnite really have, this is kind of a funny thing to say, but they really have dragged content out over the last 5 years from Save the World and slowly drip feeding it into BR. Obviously, there's so much more new content they've brought to BR, so I don't want to put that as like a #1 point. But there are little elements of Save the World to go, oh, you know what, we'll reuse that a little bit. And they take the sword and just kind of change it. And they've done that a lot with the Save the World stuff, just drip feeding it in. And I think there's so much in Save the World, because they obviously worked on Save the World way longer than they did Battle Royale. The game was back in work in like 2010, 2012, somewhere around there, all the way till its release. So it was at least 5 or 6 years worth of work there on Save the World, maybe even more. So yeah, perfectly fine to do that. I accept that and obviously respect that because that's their game, and they've spent years on that. It's just going to waste. No one really plays Save the World, so bringing it in makes sense. But obviously, you know, it really is nice to see that. It's just kind of funny. Anyway, so yeah, that's that point there. Now, mythic-wise, apparently, the geezer from the Attack of Titan, he does have some sort of mythical sword type thing, which he uses to kind of fly around. A little bit of gameplay out here. And it looks like it's going to be that. That's probably going to be one of the mythics, apparently. It's going to be his mythical sword, which is going to be pretty awesome. I can imagine this would be some sort of kind of flying beast, some sort of cool weapon. I'm not too sure what it would actually be doing, or his waist grapple, I believe it's called. It may be like a sword mixed with a grappler, which should be pretty awesome. So I'm guessing that's what the mythic's going to be. I'll keep you guys caught on all the mythics and stuff when they release on the second channel. Same with NPCs, bosses, all that sort of stuff on the content side in BR. We can expect that over on the second channel, but mainly more map changes and storyline stuff and news here on the main. So with that being said, what else do we have? Well, there's an awesome screenshot I have here of a potential Battle Pass concept coming in from Akko here. I think that's how you say his name. And you can see obviously here, here's a Battle Pass lineup from his opinion of his selected 8 skins that he believes are going to be in it. And he goes with a Drift, which is more of a placeholder, I think, for the remixed version of Drift. And he goes with a few different ones which we've not previously seen. So yeah, different style of the tier 100 there, and just a general one on that side of stuff. I'm really excited for that concept as well. And overall, I think the season will also have a Resident Evil collaboration, apparently, of these 2 characters from Resident Evil. If you've played it, these are 2 of the main characters as well from the later games, or the mid-cycle games, so they're pretty cool, and I think you guys will like that as well if you're into Resident Evil. I personally have only ever played it at friends' houses back when I was younger, so I don't really remember it or know much about the game at all. But I guess that's just the way it is, really. And we don't have long now until the release of the season. Like I said, 8th of March, which is going to be coming out next Wednesday, actually. So less than a few days, really. So everything's going to be covered. And yeah, it's going to be really exciting. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. There'll be more content leading up to it, obviously. And this is once again, this is Postbox Pat, signing out.